I'm making this video the day after we had a huge Arctic blast here in Texas. It got really cold last night, down into the single digits, and with the wind chill, it was below zero, believe it or not. I'm down to just a couple of faucets and a tub that have running water, and only cold water at that. So we're gonna get another blast tonight, and I thought that before that happens and I lose all of the water, that I would go ahead and try and fill up a container with water in my tub. And it reminded me that my brother had given me this really cool gift a couple of years back, and I've never used it, so I figured today would be a great day to use that and to show you all what it is, and we'll see if it works. It's called the WaterBOB, and it's an emergency drinking water storage system. And it says it stores up to 100 gallons of fresh drinking water. So I'm excited to check it out. Let's go ahead and open this up and see what we got. The system comes with a plastic sleeve to put over the faucet to fill up the WaterBOB. There is also a pump included to extract water from the bladder later, and of course there is the bladder itself. Having taken inventory, I spread the bladder out in the tub, removed one of the screw-on lids, and attached the plastic sleeve. I grabbed a rubber band to hold the plastic sleeve on the faucet while the bladder was filling up. The rubber band was not included in the box, but I think it should be, as it avoids arm fatigue. Of course, you can't leave the tub unattended when using it. All that was left to do now was fill up the bladder. I sped up and shortened the video segments so you don't have to watch the entire filling process. Overall, it took about 20 minutes to fill the bladder 90% of the way. At this point, I turned the faucet off, removed the plastic sleeve, and reapplied the cap. So now I'm going to show you the pump portion of this device, and we're going to see how that works. All right, here's the pump unit. You can see that it's got a threaded cap here. That's going to go on that cap in the middle port. And then you use this here to squeeze to get the water to transfer out of the bottom here and through this nozzle into the container that you want. So I'm going to go ahead and screw this in, and then we're going to start to pump and see how long it takes to fill up a pitcher of water. To attach the pump, I simply removed one of the caps on the bladder, inserted the pump through the opening, and screwed it down. The instructions say that you are supposed to start to squeeze the bulb here a couple of times to prime this unit into siphoning the water out through this hose, and that the container that you're going to be using to fill should be lower than the WaterBOB. So I'm going to put this down here, then we're going to see if this thing works. And it says that you stop the flow at the end by unscrewing the cap to get the water to stop siphoning out. Let's see if we can get this siphoning started. As you can see in the video, I was unable to get the water to siphon automatically from the bladder into my container, no matter where I put the container around the tub. Having trouble getting this 1 gallon pitcher to fill up with the siphon method. So what I'm going to do is just try to use the pump and just continue to pump and see if I can fill up this 1 gallon pitcher without the siphon method and see how that works. Using the bulb squeeze method, I was able to fill up the 1 gallon container relatively quickly. However, I must admit that it took quite a bit of effort to do so. All right, so it took about 2 minutes to siphon out a gallon of the water that we put into the WaterBOB. If somebody's older, maybe has arthritis in their hands, it might be a little bit more difficult to use the pump that way. And so that's the trade-off, is you have a mechanical pump versus an electric pump, especially if you're in a situation where you probably need the WaterBOB. You may not have electricity either. As far as this unit goes, I think it does serve a purpose. I think it is for emergency use. I do like the fact that it keeps the water clean, and as far as I'm concerned, I give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and I wish all of you the best of luck. Take care.